Welcome, thrill seekers, to a world of spine-chilling tales and hair-raising adventures. Gather around for a frightful journey into the unknown as we delve deep into the realm of scary stories. Buckle up, hold on tight, and get ready to experience a rush of terror like never before. There was a mysterious mansion on the hill, shrouded in darkness and rumors of the unknown. The mansion was said to have been abandoned for decades, with no one daring to venture inside. As a group of adventurous teenagers, we were naturally drawn to the mansion and its aura of mystery. We spent countless nights discussing the possibility of exploring the mansion, but it wasn't until one fateful night that we finally decided to take the plunge. It started with a message on our social media page, a mysterious invitation to explore the mansion on the hill. We were hesitant at first, but the promise of adventure and the lure of the unknown won out. And so, we set out on a moonless night, determined to explore the mansion and uncover its secrets. As we approached the mansion, we were struck by its imposing presence. The mansion was old and foreboding, with ivy creeping up its walls and cobwebs clinging to its windows. We hesitated for a moment, wondering if we should turn back, but we pushed forward, driven by our sense of adventure. As we entered the mansion, we were hit by a wave of musty air and the scent of decay. The mansion was in a state of disrepair, with peeling wallpaper and rotting floorboards. But as we explored the mansion, we soon realized that there was more to it than meets the eye. Strange symbols and markings were etched into the walls, and eerie whispers echoed through the halls. We knew that we were not alone in the mansion, and that the mysteries of the mansion were deeper and more sinister than we could have ever imagined. As we delved deeper into the mansion, we realized that we were not alone. Ghosts and ghouls roamed the halls, their pale faces twisted into grins that sent shivers down our spines. We tried to run, but the ghosts seemed to follow us, their ethereal forms gliding effortlessly through the air. We realized that we were trapped in the mansion, with no way out and no one to turn to. And then, just as we thought we were doomed, we heard a voice. The voice belonged to an old man, dressed in ragged clothing and carrying a lantern. He introduced himself as the mansion's former caretaker and explained that the mansion was haunted by the spirits of those who had died there. He offered to guide us through the mansion, promising to help us escape and banish the evil spirits once and for all. We were hesitant at first, but we had no other choice. And so we followed the old man deeper into the mansion, hoping against hope that he would lead us to safety. As we made our way through the mansion, the ghosts became more and more aggressive, their spectral hands reaching out to grab us and pull us into the darkness. We realized that we were running out of time, and that we needed to do something drastic to banish the spirits for good. And then, we remembered the old man's words, the spirits could only be banished with a sacrifice. We knew what we had to do. One of us would have to offer themselves up to the spirits, sacrificing their life to save the rest of us. It was a horrible decision to make, but we knew that it was the only way. And so, we drew straws to determine who would make the sacrifice. The unlucky winner was a close friend, a brave soul who had always put others before himself. He accepted his fate with grace and dignity, and offered himself. With our sacrifice made, we waited anxiously for the spirits to be banished. At first, nothing happened. The ghosts continued to haunt us, their presence growing stronger with each passing moment. But then, there was a sudden burst of light, and the ghosts began to fade away, their twisted faces replaced by expressions of relief and peace. We knew that our sacrifice had worked, and that the mansion was now free of its malevolent presence. As we emerged from the mansion, we were struck by the morning light and the realization that we had narrowly escaped death. We mourned the loss of our friend, but we knew that he had died a hero, sacrificing himself for the greater good. We never spoke of the mansion again, but its memory lingered on, haunting us with its ghostly presence and the memory of the sacrifice we had made. Years later, as we grew older and went our separate ways, we received a warning. The mansion on the hill had been rebuilt, and new owners had moved in. But there were rumors of strange occurrences, of ghosts and ghouls that roamed the halls once again. We knew that we had to warn the new owners, to prevent them from suffering the same fate that we had. And so, we made the journey back to the mansion on the hill, determined to put an end to the cycle of terror and sacrifice once and for all. As we approached the mansion, we could feel the malevolent energy emanating from it, and our hearts filled with dread. We knocked on the door, and were met by a young couple, who welcomed us in. They seemed oblivious to the horrors that lurked within the walls of their home. We tried to warn them, but they laughed it off, dismissing our warnings as the ramblings of old men. But we were not deterred. We knew that we had to stop the evil that had once again taken root in the mansion. As we explored the mansion, we encountered the same ghosts and spirits that had haunted us years before. But this time, we were not afraid. We had come prepared, armed with the knowledge and the tools to banish the malevolent presence once and for all. As we entered the grand ballroom, we found ourselves face to face with the source of the evil that had haunted the mansion. It was a dark entity, with glowing red eyes and a sinister aura that seemed to drain the life from everything around it. We knew that this was our final battle, and that our fate was in our hands. We began to chant, calling upon the forces of light and love to banish the darkness that had taken hold of the mansion. As we chanted, the entity grew stronger, its powers of darkness and despair growing stronger with each passing moment. But we did not falter. We stood strong, united in our quest to banish the evil once and for all. As the chanting reached its climax, there was a sudden burst of light, and the entity let out a terrible scream, its form dissolving into nothingness. We knew that our sacrifice had worked, and that the mansion was finally free of its curse. The new owners looked on in amazement, awed by the power of our ritual and the courage that we had displayed in the face of such overwhelming evil. As we left the mansion on the hill, we knew that our work was done. The ghosts and spirits that had haunted us for so many years had finally been laid to rest, and we could finally live our lives in peace. Years later, we would return to the mansion on the hill, but this time, it was different. The mansion had been transformed into a place of light and beauty, filled with joy and love instead of darkness and despair. We smiled, knowing that our sacrifice had not been in vain, and that we had helped to turn a place of darkness into a beacon of hope and happiness. As the night draws to a close, we bid farewell to the terrors that haunted us and the spine-tingling tales that kept us on the edge of our seats. Remember, the darkness may linger, but the dawn always brings a new light. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and never stop exploring the mysteries of the unknown.